This is Rev Em here, and it's a beautiful Sunday morning in the UK. I'm one of the founding members of Creative Rootz Ministry. We're an intentional ministry, and we hold the intention to serve, which means serving through right action which actually serves the community. We get real here at Creative Rootz. We're not about hiding things or brushing things under the carpet. We're about getting real with who we are and where we are and how things are in the world. And we show up to support you, our global community. We address real world problems so that you know you are not alone. And it's so easy to feel alone these days, but you're not alone. We are here for you. You can support us by liking and sharing if you get anything from this service, and subscribe so you can find us easily again, so you can keep up to date with what's going on. Creative Rootz Ministry is not a religious ministry. We do not practice, promote fear, doubt, lack or worry. We know that life doesn't happen to me, it happens through me. And we know we can't stop things happening, but we know we can change how it allows us to move forward from this place right here and move forward from this now moment and change our future. We bring you belief systems from all around the world so you can find what's real and what resonates with you, so you get to remember and recover your power and return to a natural state of being in a way that feels right for you. We see you, we believe in you, because we know who and what you are beyond the world of what the world of appearances would lead us to believe. At Creative Rootz, we know the importance of right relationship with all life. We believe in bringing back balance, knowing there is only one love, and all that is that one power, that one life living as the one people and the one planet and the one universe. Good morning. You can't hear me, you king, young king. Okay, let me just... Hi, Craig, can you hear me? Yeah, no? Let's see. I'm gonna go off and come back on with a different phone. Can anyone hear me at all? I know what I'll do. Just give me a second. I shall see. Don't go. Hi, Wayne. And hi, you. Let me come back in a second. I'm just going to check if I can hear me. You can hear me, Wayne. Oh, thank you. Bless you. So, Young King, it may be something with your computer setup, and sorry about that. And I hope you can catch us on the replay. Thank you, Wayne. MC, hello, good morning, Solomon 101 from Bangladesh. What an awesome thing. Oh, thank you, Venu Gopal. And hi, Tremaine. Oh, thank you, Wayne MC. It is so good to be with you all this morning. So I'm just going to go through this little bit here. Here at Creative Rootz, we know the importance of right relationship with all life, which is right relationship with you guys there. And hi Ava, bless you, it's great to see you. And happy birthday to Tremaine's sister, bless you too. So we know, we believe in bringing back balance. We know there is only one love, and all that is the one power, the one living, and the one people, the one planet and the one universe. We are all one big global family. And talking about families, this week's service is about sharing the silent battles that we all face as carers and as parents. And we're speaking into them today to give them the space that they need, and to show you that there is way more that can come from the challenges that we face when we face them together as a community. I'm from Manchester, Wayne. So parents and carers of vulnerable people in society have got the toughest job on the planet. You don't get time out, you don't get holidays, there is very little or no pay involved, and your life is not your own. But you don't mind. Many are facing silent battles that no one knows about. They're normal, and the normal for me as a parent and carer is to be on call 24/7. People like myself, they juggle their life with the life of another's, trying to make everything fit. They take good times with challenging times. They take the misdirected abuse, the anger and frustration, and do their best not to allow that to get in the way of serving the people that we love, so that they can have a better quality of life. Being a carer is a path that we rarely choose, but more of a path of fire which you choose to walk because you can't turn away. You would never ever be able to live with the what ifs if you did try and turn away, so you remain. Caring for another is often a matter of life and death, or at the least about maintaining a quality of living and dying in which some way makes life living better for those who are going through whatever they're going through, so that you can be there in some capacity, no matter what, as an act to support and serve. The role of a carer, it requires so much of you. It pushes you beyond what you believe is possible, mentally and physically. It can stretch your limits. You push yourself in ways that you would never do for yourself, which is an interesting thing, really. Spiritually, it brings so much to blast all your belief systems over and over, and everything that you thought you believed to be true is challenged as you bear witness to the lived experience of another person's intimate truths. Am I part of God's squad? I don't think so. I do believe the God Squad is a motorcycle chapter, and they're quite amazing people if you've met them, but no, that's not quite my thing. So when you're a carer, you live on an invisible edge because you can only do so much. Many carers burn out or die trying, and it takes everything you willingly give and everything that you don't willingly give too, as you carry the grief of loss of the life that you can't live, the grief, the grieving the sliding dynamic from a mother or a father or a lover or a friend or a child into that of a carer, an advocate and a personal assistant. And you grieve for and with the person that you carry, for all that was and all that will never be. At times it feels like the only thing keeping you both afloat is the life ring of love around your heart. And at times you wonder about throwing it off and giving it up. And some do. There are those who choose death as a doorway to freedom, figuring it's a better option than continuing to fight what can seem an upending battle. Absolutely, Ava. Blessed be all carers. It's the toughest role that I know that I've ever experienced, and I've been doing it for the best part of 24 years. You are bearing witness to someone else's suffering as a carer, and in doing so, you too suffer. And you're watching them navigate challenges of living and dying without being able to meet their basic needs, but the needs that so many of us take for granted. We carers are great givers, And my personal experience has been choosing to give up everything for that one thing that appears more important than my life itself, which is the life of my daughter. And I can be on the toilet or at work or having a moment. I could be sat crying my eyes out, but as soon as that call comes in, no matter what, I have to be fully present. So many times I've placed everything on hold. I've walked away from relationships, jobs, friendships, from family. I've worn myself so thin. I lost jobs and I gave up everything for a chance of their health and their well-being. And being a carer is what pushed me into taking care of others when I became a bodyguard. I became a Samaritan 11 years ago, preventing suicides on railways as they happened. But before I could turn from the trauma of living and giving and stop that saviour complex I had, always trying to rescue things, I had to hit the ground first and have the ground taken from under my feet. And it was only then that I could start changing things. Thank you, Ava. Ava said, wow, you're amazing. Thank you. But for me, back then, I looked like I was the mother sitting with suicide. I felt unseen, unheard and alone, navigating years of neglect and abuse without any help or support. Feeling hopeless was what I believe caused a stroke, which forced me into making change. Because I was too sick to care for myself and I'd had enough, and I thought that I couldn't go on anymore. I was at my lowest and I prayed for life to leave me, and I begged God and death to take me and end my suffering, because this is the truth of being a carer at times. I was introduced at this point in my life to a poem, and the poem was a catalyst for my growth. It changed my life and it ended my pity party, because that's what it was. I felt so sorry for myself and for everything that had gone wrong. I just wanted to end it all. I'd had enough. So I'm going to share with you this morning the Invictus poem by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. My head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. This poem, it gets me every time because it's these last two lines. They became affirmations that affirmed for me the truth of life. They led me to retraining trauma therapy and then into creating Creative Rootz. And it eventually pushed me into growing a ministry, which is why I sit before you today on this Sunday morning. And I had to go from trying to save people to learning how to save myself, and only then I could serve others in a healthy, balanced way. I am the master of my fate. Yes, life does not happen to me. Shift happens. And when we shift our perspective, when things get real tough, and I know things can get real tough, but when we shift our perspective, we can stop looking for our saviour. We can stop looking outside of us. waiting for something else to save us, and we can take back our power. I am the captain of my soul. This body may be battered, it may be bruised, it may be worn out and worn down, but the body is carrying the soul. It can never be destroyed. It is beyond superhuman. It is invincible. It's incredible and it's timeless, and the one thing which is in you that can see without ears and hear without ears, it's intuition. It will never see you wrong. It's your inner GPS. You hold the power to steer your perspective, and you hold the key to your progress. Yes, Ava, unconquerable soul, damn right. The power is in you, as it's in Ava, as it's in Tremaine, as it's in Mazer, and as it's in Wayne, as it's in me. And William Ernest Hemingway, he knew this. Nelson Mandela knew this. This is why the Invictus Games treasured these sacred words and used this poem, because the words remind us of the greatness that lies within each and every single one of us, and that power empowers us into living life again. No matter what goes on outside of us, you have the power. The power you have remains yours unless you give it away to someone else. And that is easily done when you care for another person. You have a responsibility to yourself to captain your own ship and make the choices that serve you first, always you first. And then you can serve others, so you can give from your overflow instead of giving your life force and wearing yourself out. People who we care for take, and we give, and we have to be careful when and how to give, because they don't often know how to be responsible, and they rely on us to do so much. This doesn't mean we have to be responsible for them. They can blame us when things don't go the way they wanted, when it's not our fault. We're their trusted soundboards. There's nothing personal about it. We know, we accept them as they are, and they know that too. The frustration of the masking drops, and we carers are the closest that we are to them. So we get it in the neck, we get the mouthfuls, we get the abuse, but underneath it all is just someone struggling, and it's genuinely love. We have to learn to form strict boundaries and be okay to say no. You can drive yourself crazy if you don't work out what you're willing to give and how far you're willing to go. It's one hell of a learning curve. It's more like a learning roller coaster. 1 minute you think you're doing all right, straight down, back up, you know. You've really got to tune into yourself first and put yourself first as a carer. And then you can serve without the resentment from the life that you think you would be living if you weren't stuck in the predicament of caring. You have to make peace with your choice to show up and to serve as their carer. And life can suck. It really can suck. The experiences we grow through really change us. When we care for those who are navigating such experiences, such events, such traumas, the grief can be like being hit by a wrecking ball. It swings in and everyone's moods go all over the place. Witnessing this as a carer can be a trauma of its own. And as an act of the service, the kindest thing you can do, ever do for anyone, is have mercy on yourself and put you first. First, you set yourself some space, even if that means when you go to the toilet, you just give yourself an extra minute to just sit and just breathe and allow yourself that space. Real caring requires real service, and real service to another soul means stopping and asking how empowering it can be to have a person arrive and help from their own perspective. People were washing me, dressing me, feeding me, arranging my shopping as if I wasn't there. And everything was when they wanted. It was horrible to be cared for, especially at first. And it's bad enough being to navigate a huge turn in your own health and trauma without someone arriving in your personal space and taking over. And I watched recently as people showed up in force to help out after the fires in Portugal. And instead of saying, how can I help? They came in to people's houses, they took over. And it created more work and more complications that would have been easily avoided if they'd just stopped to ask, how can I help you? And served from that genuine place. Another thing that I can share today is what I learned from when I had the stroke was insight. It's how to see life from the inside out. We so often judge a book by its cover. We look from the outside in. And it's time to stop looking at first appearances and see past that initial layer, because most people walking about today are just trying to protect and defend themselves because they're scared. So now I take a step back and I take a pause and I ask, how can I help you? And I pause to consider without trying to project what I think I know, because for what all I do know, I still know nothing. So with my daughter, life is so different. A lifetime of me making mistakes. Did you notice how I said mistakes instead of mistakes? When we think we're making a mistake, we're thinking we're doing it wrong. What we're doing is we're trying with all the information we've got available, and sometimes it means doing a mistake and then changing our direction so we can really tune in and have a better understanding of when to step in, how to step in, when we listen to hear instead of listening to speak, when we work towards putting down my judgment, a gift that you can gift someone else, witnessing the wanting love. You know, when we're watching someone, Ava said, such an easy and important question, how can I help you, without assuming that I know how. Absolutely. And when we're witnessing the people that we care for, and we know underneath all that frustration is they just want love, and knowing as a carer, sometimes knowing no matter what I do, it isn't going to fill the void left behind by the one person that they really want. And we know that no matter what, nothing could fill the hole that the father has left behind, or the mother, or the estranged family. And it's heartbreaking to watch. It's heart-aching in a world when you're on the spectrum and you love more, and your love and pain is amplified, because that's what happens for people with ADHD, ADD, ASD, which is autism. People on the spectrum, their emotions, their feelings are amplified. They can be called too much when really they're just being real. And it's not being dramatic, it's just how they feel, it's how they're experiencing their perspective of life. And being on the spectrum, that single focus and that moreness, it's a superpower. Because when you refocus and you rewire that perspective, you can take your power back. The thing is, as always, you have to really want to. Caring for someone that you love so deeply challenges your very being. It shows you the love that you hold, which somehow you've got for another and lack for yourself. Those who we care for are our mirrors. Pause practice is one of the best practices ever as someone who's caring for someone else, whether it's your child, whether it's your parent, whether it's your partner, whether it's an addict. If it's someone that you love, they are more than just that role that you perceive. You know, addicts are more than just an addict. Underneath that is just so much suffering. Whereas we take that pause and we just breathe. And we do it over and over again as many times as we can throughout the day. It helps to just take a moment to clear the mind. It helps to listen, to hear. And the words that you speak when you hear your own words help you gain insight. When you're present, no one notices that you're actually even pausing. Because one of the things I thought was, but surely people will notice if I keep being seen taking a pause. Nah, it didn't work that way. What happened was I'd take a pause and breathe. And they just thought I was having a moment to think or something. And it gave space and time that benefited everybody, which was brilliant. And affirmations are so helpful. And as I shared, I used to affirm over and over, I am the captain of my soul. Sorry, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. So please say it with me. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. We're going to say it again. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Because when we affirm these statements throughout the day, it brings us back. It helps us shift our perspective and see everything differently. And when we're looking at the people we care for, we can recognise they're the master of their own fate. They're the captain of their soul. And we can turn from a saviour into a coach, and we can try and encourage them. How can they become masters of their fate? You know, how can they become the captains of their soul? And we can ask questions that get them thinking and that helps them empower themselves. We want to give people their power back. Carrying more than one person is way too much weight for anyone to carry, you know. We know we hold our fate in our own hands. We have a duty of care to serve others. It makes our life a million times easier. People with addictions have to want to change, and it's hard. My uncle ended his life when I was very young, and I have known so many people as functioning alcoholics, functioning drug addicts, functioning sex addicts. It's all the same. It's people who are numbing out because they can't cope. And you know, when I worked preventing suicides as a Samaritan on the railways, I was providing presence for people who wanted to end it all. The things everyone had in common is they felt alone. They felt hopeless. They couldn't see a way out. They were worn out from asking for help and getting nowhere and being passed about like a human ping pong ball. They were trying to take responsibility but met a metaphorical brick wall and therefore wanted to give up. And I do get it. I get it because I've felt that way. And I get it because I've watched people suffering and trying to get help and support but being passed about by professionals who pass the buck, do not take responsibility, and it makes people feel even worse. I get how living with someone who is standing at an edge knows and you don't know if they'll make it through another day. And I get what it's like to revive your child and be resented for saving their life. And I know what it is like to sit thinking this could be our last moment. And drink all in the pain and the tears rolling down my face and pouring out love all at the same time. We're living in a time where drug dealers, alcohol sales, sex workers and social media doom scrollers are at an all-time high, as are suicide rates. The amount of bypassing the suffering of others, especially by professionals who are supposed to do their job, is at an all-time high. There's so much disassociation in society. Will our loved ones become another statistic? We don't know. There is so many people passing numbers for crisis teams who do very little, if anything. They listen, but not to hear. Most callers don't feel heard after being on a call to a crisis team. The governments don't bother with the facts that there's more people out of work not being able because they can't function. They're saying it's immigrants. They're saying it's people committing fraud. They can't see the country is suffering. They can't see that the cuts to the health service over years has created a system that doesn't work to take care of people. And they're the people that have built the countries. It isn't just like this in Britain. It's like this across Europe. It's like this across America. And if you look up the main causes of death in society today, you'll see it's all stress related, like heart attacks and stroke and weakened immune systems. This didn't happen overnight. This is a result of not getting and addressing the root of the problems and passing the buck. Yet today, who is taking responsibility? It's the carers. It's the parents, it's the husbands, the wives, the close friends who never chose to sign up, but they stay out of a duty to do what's right according to their moral compass, who stand in the firing line, who getting it from all angles like something out of the Matrix, and they risk so much for those people they love. These are the real life heroes in society today. But what is the solution to this problem? Where is the imbalance? From my perspective, I can see it's due to responsibility. How many of us are taking responsibility for ourselves, for how we show up in the world? And society has raised us to look outside of ourselves for a saviour. Politicians promising to protect us has divided us when what we need is to prevent disconnection. Religion told us to ask our gods for forgiveness because we're the sinners. This lacks the true compassion, which is a love beyond all understanding and an acceptance of what is. That was practiced by Jesus. It was practiced by Krishna. It was practiced by the Buddha. Walt Disney, loads of awesome films. But they build in a belief system that ladies get saved by knights and princes, and it creates a disillusion. It was down to men to save women. It forgets that men and women both need to learn to save themselves, and we all need to support one another. So much with the victim mentality of the world happening to you, which is surrounding us outside in the world of appearances, it's disempowering the people. It is time to change. But until you realise you are the master of your fate, you will be left at the mercy of this world. And for those who remember they're the captain of the ship, well, they'll find the key to create the life that they would never think was even possible. So for one last time with me today, repeat the words, the affirmations. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. And may these words make their magic, making a mould of the new key that opens new doors of opportunities for you. And for those of us who really want to do something and show up in the world today, but are sick of doing it alone, there are people out there willing to support you. Join a community where you can enter your energy into expanding something for the sake of humanity's evolution, not the devolution. Creative Rootz Portugal welcomes your support to build our community centre to show up so people know that they're not alone. It helps expand the ministry. The Shield is now active across the UK. I'm sure that the Shield's going to go global. There's a lot of interest. We'll share a link in the description. Agape International Spiritual Centre does a heck of a lot of work in the USA. It's also global. They do a lot. It's all online. And another guy that I found who's a truly amazing brother, Ishmael Teta. He's got this Ethereum mission in Ghana. He's an incredible guy who always goes back to nature. And he's been running it for over 50 years, helping people recognise the similarities between themselves and life. And he's cheeky and he's got such a wild energy, you know. So don't give up. The disappointment that I have faced fighting for my daughter's life and dignity so far is what propelled me into being active in creating my own future and connecting with others to create Creative Rootz, to create a safe space, a safe place where you can come and be held, whether it's respite or revival. Creative Rootz is for recovery, recovering from the grief that we all carry because we were led to believe the world would be different instead of being taught about the way of things. We would all benefit from reading the Tao. It's a place for everyone at Creative Rootz, a home from home, and it's somewhere that you can come home to anytime. If ever there was a time to reclaim your power, it's now. Now is the time to reclaim your power, to remember you do have what it takes to get through change. Hang on in there. And no matter how long you have been pressing for change, when shift happens, keep reaching out. On Saturdays we offer soul-to-soul support, so come on, drop in, let's talk. It's on Zoom. You can be anywhere in the world and you can reach us at Creative Rootz. You really are not alone. We are here for you. And today's prayer is a little bit different. It's the Bodhisattva prayer for humanity. It's from a Buddhist belief system. So please take a moment to feel into these heartfelt words as I speak them on behalf of all carers and all those who wish to serve others. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, a healing medicine for the sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles, and for the boundless multitudes of living beings, may I bring substance and awakening, enduring like the earth and sky, until all beings are freed from sorrow and all are awakened. Ashe, Aho, Amen. And this was once, well, we can trace it back to Shantideva, an Indian Buddhist sage from 700 AD. And that prayer is performed each morning by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Just take a pause. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for the opportunity to get real with you all today. Creative Rootz started as a vision. It became a space for so many. We serve one another through offering space so people can learn to breathe again. We're growing into a more diverse space. We're opening such incredible spaces for in-people events and workshops and coming over and just taking time for recovery. We're bringing back balance to attain a peace of mind, body and spirit. We support those who are overwhelmed and burnt out from standing at their own edges. and joining others to stand at their own edge of their life. So we give them support and space and loving awareness, while they remember and reclaim who and what they are. You can support us through subscribing to the channel or joining our team of volunteers. You can gift money or items to build the Creative Rootz community spaces. Love donations are always welcome, and we circulate everything back into the community through our services, through our spaces that allow us to show up 24/7, providing crisis support and mental health first aid, and continues our compassionate work within community. Creative Rootz rocks. Thank you. Thank you, Ava. And I'm so grateful that you have allowed me to share all this with you all today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. We at Creative Rootz really do appreciate you. We're bringing the service to a close now, but as we always do, we send out a blessing for each and every one of you. Whether you're listening later or whether you're not listening at all, may all beings be peaceful. May all beings be seen. May all beings be safe. May all beings be heard. May all beings be free. You do not need to walk this path alone. We at Creative Rootz are here for you. Reach out. So much love to everyone. Namaste.